Alright, Consolidated Rail Corporation Air Brake and Train Handling Rules Instruction EC 99 Revision 786. Name, occupation, employee, number above the employer, intended for the air brake instruction class, date, location, instructor. Notice the rules and instruction govern the operation, testing, and maintenance of the air brake equipment. They must be obeyed when all employees whose duties are affected by this item by them. Employees whose duties are affected by these rules must be attended with the air brake instruction class at least once every 2 years as required by the proper authority. Each affected employee must have a copy of the book, including all revisions available on the duty when attending instruction classes. Index, standard air pressure, 1-1, brake pipe equalization pressure, 2, locomotive air brakes, mechanical forces, maintenance and responsibility, locomotive air brakes, engineers, inspections, responsibility, locomotive brake inspection, locomotive brake test, change of the crew, securing locomotives left unintended, failure to locomotive air brakes, failure of locomotive air brakes, and general pressure, maintaining future tests. Alright, position locomotive air brake equipment, general instruction position 26L equipment, and position 24RL equipment, position number 6 and number 14 equipment, position air brake equipment on helper locomotive at rear of the train, position air brake equipment on helper and double heading locomotive at the front of the train, 4-7, compute coupling units and multiple. Hauling dead locomotives conditions determined, set up and dead and consist, set up a dead end train, main reserve available, set up dead end train, main reserve not available. 6, making up the trains, general connecting brake pipe, coupling locomotive, charging train locomotive, charging the yard air supply, approximately charging time to 90 psi, adding car to the rear of the train air brake inspection, brake pipe connections, retaining valves, brake rigging, handbrakes, piston travel, inoperative brakes and routement, and percent of operated brakes, placement of cars in operative brakes, cutting out of car brakes, nullifying number 8 vent valve, failure to maintain adequate pressure, passenger equipment making up passenger trains, mix consists, communicating signal system, brake test, passenger. 10. Train air brake test general. Condition of brakes, responsibility signal, brake application, brake pipe, leakage checks, hand brakes, tested end of the train devices. Alright, 11. Internal testing inspection. When required, train brake inspection charge required for the freight train, application of brakes for the test, brake pipe, leakage inspection, brake application inspection, and brake release. Test made for the yard air supply, notification completion of test. 12. Transfer train, yard train test, movement and not exceeding 20 miles and movement exceeding 20 miles an hour. Road test when required. Procedure, intermediate brake test, 1,000 mile inspection test cars added to the train, change of the crew. No change consists. 15. Running test when required. Procedure. Brake rules, general, cutting off the car's locomotive from the train, brake application from the train, emergency application, sticking brakes, undesired release, securing trains on the grade, double heading on the helping locomotives, inbound brake equipment inspection on the trains. 18. Freight train handling. General instructions starting freight train using sand, accelerating freight trains, brake freight trains, releasing brakes, stopping freight trains, grade braking, general pressure maintaining method, non-equipped method, deleted brake air pressure. Alright, 19. Operation of the equipment, dynamic braking, self-air brake, fuel saver device, backup hose, caboose valves, brake pipe flow indicator, retaining valves, end of the train device. Air brake form MP261C, initial terminal air brake tests. Form EC100, defective air brake. Form AD1928, record of repairs en route. And 62, lastly, definitions. Alright, standard, page 1, or chapter 1, standard air pressure. Alright, standard air pressure. Pressure regulating device of the air brake equipment must be adjusted to the following pressures. Locomotive, passenger service 110, main reserve 130, 140, freight service Yale Road 90, brake pipe 125, 140 in the main reserve, yard 80, 125 to 140 main reserve, light yard, light work 90, brake pipe 90, 125 to 140 psi. Reducing valves, yard air supply 80, Locomotive independent number 24 and 26, except for the SW class with number 26. Revisions of October 15th, 1986, 45. Main reserve or miscellaneous 45 psi. Other including SW with no 2X, number 2X6. Revision June 15th, 1986, 35. Control air pressure 90. All right, safety valves control distributing valve 60 psi, main reserve 150 psi, compressor and intercooler, and compressors and intercooler 60 psi, discharge pipe 185 psi. When freight locomotives are used with the hull passenger brake pipe pressure must be increased with the standard pressure locomotives before locomotives are equipped to the train. 1. Brake pipe equalization pressure, brake pipe pressure 70, equalization pressure 50, full service reduction 20. Brake pipe pressure 80, equalization pressure 57, full service reduction 23. Brake pipe pressure 90, equalization pressure 64. Full service reduction 26. 100 air brake pressure, equalization pressure 71, full service reduction 29. Brake pipe pressure 110, equalization pressure 78, full service reduction 32 psi. Alright, equalization pressure, highest braking pressure that can be obtained from the service brake application. 2. Locomotives, air brakes, mechanical forces. Maintenance. 211. Brake equipment of locomotives must be inspected and maintained in accordance with the current standard maintenance regulations, locomotives SMR 1000. Responsibilities. 221. When mechanical forces duties will be there responsibility to know if the brakes are safe and suitable condition for the service. The locomotives have been inspected with accordance with the standard maintenance regulations and all the necessary repairs that have been made before the units are dispatched for service. 222. The date, place, date, and time for the inspection must be recorded on the form MP13 for the cab of each locomotive unit. Alright, locomotive air brakes engineers inspection. Each locomotive used shall be inspected at least once during each of the calendar written report EL 106A. The inspection shall be made with the recorded with the MP13 maintenance on each of the locomotives showing the place and date and time of the inspection. 3.2 Responsibility. 3.21 Engineers, when taking charge of the locomotive, must determine that the inspection have been examined with the cab record MP13. 3.22 When the mechanical force for the duty of the engineer will accept the inspection, mechanical forces will be only required for the make brake tests outlined with section 3.4. 323 When the mechanical forces are not on duty and the units are not within date, the engineer must make an inspection specified in section 3.3. Alright, 3.3 Locomotive brake inspection. Secure locomotive to prevent movement from applying the handbrake of the leading unit. Handbrake should be released on all train units unless required to hold the locomotive. 2. Drain the water or oil from the main reserve system. 3. Blow the condensator for the equal end brake pipe pressure. Blow the condensator for the end brake pipe and the main reserve equalizing hose. Couple the multiple unit hoses properly between the units to open on the lead and trailing ends of the consist. Place the hose in properly receptacles and couple the dummy couplings. Place in all angles of cocks and cutout cocks for the portion used in multiple air brake equipment in the portion proper position. 6. Cut out. Close the brake valve cutout cocks on all stations except when the station from which the brake will be controlled. 7. At the operating station, which the brakes will be controlled, independent brake handle with the place of the full brake full application position. Cut in. Open the independent brake cock. Insert the automatic brake handle with the place in charge position. Cut it open. Cut in. Open the automatic brake valve into the cutout cock. 8. Check the air pressure regulating device for the functional properly with adjusted with the standard pressure shown in Rule 1. 9. Check the cutout cock for the dead man device is properly positioned and sealed. 10. Test the dead man device operation. 11. Check all brake shoes approximately within line with the wheel tread with the brake with the cylinder piston travel does not exceed 1 1/2 inch less than total possible piston travel exceeding indicated on the blue cab form FRAF 618-049A. Alright, check the brake level of the rod hangers. The pins do not bind or foul with the pins are securely applied with the new part of the rigging and is less than 2.5 inches above the rail. Test the emergency brake valve after the inspection is completed. Release all the handbrakes. Locomotive brake test. The engineer, when taking charge of the locomotive, must know that the brakes are in operative condition and making the following tests. 341 brake pipe leakage test. Make a 10-pound surface brake pipe reduction. Cut out the pressure. Maintaining the feature and brake pipe leakage must not exceed 3 pounds per minute. 342 standing locomotive air brake test. The test must include when initial taking charge of the light locomotive and changing of the control stations of the light locomotive before making initial movement of the cutting away from the train. To determine the effectiveness of the brake, apply the independent brake in full application position. Observe the brake cylinder gauge for pressure. Momentarily apply it to ensure the brakes are cut in and capable of holding the locomotive. Shut off the power before releasing the brakes. Alright, 343 running locomotive brake test. The term must be made using as soon as operating conditions permit and immediately after. Initial movement of the light locomotive, the change that has been made consisting of the light locomotive, the change of the control stations to determine the effectiveness of the brake while the locomotive is moving. Apply the independent brakes sufficiently to develop a noticeable brake cylinder cylinder pressure. Check the appropriate retarding effort. Release the independent brake and make a surface application with the automatic brake and check the brake cylinder pressure with the retarding effort. Should press the independent brake handle to hold down, check the brake cylinder pressure, release, and the locomotive rolls free. 3-5, change of the crew. Engineers taking charge of the locomotive will ascertain that the incoming engineer either verbally or prescribed with the form EL 106A the locomotive brakes are operative condition. 3-6, securing locomotive left untended. 3-6-1, when the locomotive units in charge of the engineer are to be left untended, it will be responsible of the engineer to know the units are properly secured. 3-6-2, the handbrake must be tested when applied by the releasing air brakes and determined when the brake shoe remains secure against the wheel. 3-6-3, independent brake must be cut in and placed in the full application position. Automatic brake cut in and placed in full service position. Handbrake applied with the shocks and must be applied with the wheels where the conditions required. 3-6-4, air brakes must not be relied on to hold unintended locomotives. 3-7, failure of locomotive in the air brake. 3-7-1, all locomotives must leave the terminal points with the air brake in operative condition. 3-7-2, if the failure of locomotive brakes occurs en route, the report must be made with the first point of the contact with the train dispatcher who issued the instruction. 3-7-3, engineers must report the defects of locomotive air brakes at each end of the trip prescribed in EL 106A. Alright, 3-7-4, if in the event of the locomotive brakes become inoperative with the locomotive with the moving light, the procedure shall be as follows. At 1, the locomotive with the dynamic brake should be stopped using the dynamic brake and a handbrake. 2, locomotive with the dynamic brake and the rail cars other than the equipment must be stopped with a handbrake if practicable. 3, if non-practical to practice with the handbrake, locomotives may be stopped by plugging the motors. This must only be used as a last resort. Retarding the force will serve when the power is applied with the reverse on the moving locomotive. The crews must anticipate the force and protect them using from themselves from injury. To plug the motors, place the throttle in idle position and place the reverse in position opposite the direction of the movement. Move the throttle in the first notch, and then the locomotive must be secured with the handles, brakes immediately after the movement, and stopping and shocking the wheels if necessary. Alright, 3-8, locomotive air brakes general. 3-8-1, locomotive brake cylinder gauge will indicate the air pressure developed in the brake cylinders only on one truck, the truck nearest to the gauge. To assure the complete release of the locomotive brakes on the multiple consist of the automatic brake valve applied, independent brake valve handle must be depressed and released 4 seconds on each unit with the consist. 383, an emergency brake application can be made quickly opening the emergency brake valve located within the cab stencil with the marked emergency brake valve. 384, after the emergency brake application inform any cause, the automatic brake valve handle must remain in the lat position, emergency position, with the 2.6L for 1 minute before attempting to release. 3-9, pressure maintaining feature test. 3-9-1, when the test for maintaining the feature is required, shall be made with the following: with the brake valve cut, with the pressure maintaining the cut, with the 2.4RL, the brake system charged must be approximately 10 pounds per minute, but the brake pipe leak, slowly opening the cab, the emergency brake valve, the brake pipe cock at the end of the locomotive until the pressure begins to escape. Revisions of June 5th, 1986, make 10-pound pipe reduction for the automatic brake valve. Note that equalizing reserve brake pipe pressure do not increase or decrease during a testing of 1 minute. Close the cab emergency brake valve with the brake pipe cut out end of the locomotive and recharge the pipe. Note that the main reserve pressure is maintained during the test. 4. Position locomotive air brake equipment. General instruction: when more than one locomotive is equipped with is coupled to a train, all automatic brake valves must be cut out except from the one from which the train brakes are operated. On all track units, the brake valve handles must either be secured in proper position or be removed. When charging operations standard, the charge must be made without delay, or precaution must be taken to ensure the locomotive do not move the chains as being made. After positioning of the air brake equipment for the single multiple unit double heading service, the engineer must know that the locomotive air brakes apply with the release before proceeding. 415 on cutout cocks, valves open and or in, which means the same as close or out will mean the same. 4.2. Position of the 26L equipment. To set up the 26L brake equipment for the lead position, the multiple considered with the single unit with the place of the handle with the cocks in the following position and sequence listed. Insert the independent brake valve handle and place the full application position. Place the multiple unit 2A valve with the lead or dead position in the dual ported cutout cock or into an in or open position. Brake cylinder pressure will increase the independent brake valve setting. Insert the automatic brake valve handle to place the release position. Allow the equalizing reserve to charge the regulating and valve the setting, and then depress the turn brake valve cutout valve to the in position. Brake pipe will charge to the equalizing reserve pressure. 422. To set up the 26L brake equipment for the trail, place the handle with the cocks in the following position. The sequence listed. Place the independent brake valve handle in the full application mold. Place the multiple unit 2A valve proper in the trail position. Dual ported cutout cock in the out closed position. Place the automatic brake valve handle in the suppression. Wait for the brake pipe exhaust to stop blowing. Depress and turn the brake valve cutout valve to the O position. Return the independent brake valve handle to the release position. Remove the handle. Place the automatic brake valve handle in the handle off and remove the handle before leaving the cabin, checking the brake cylinder pressure and hold steady. 4.3. Position the 2.4 RL equipment. 4.3.1. To set up the 2.4 RL brake equipment for the lead position, multiple consider the single unit, placing handles and cock in the following sequence. Insert the independent brake valve handle position in the full application position. Turn the rotary air valve handle to the pass position. Brake cylinder pressure will increase to independent brake valve setting. Insert the automatic brake valve handle in the running position. Slowly move the brake valve cutout cock, double heading cock to an open position. Pausing momentarily with the middle position, and equalizing reserve and brake pipe will charge the feed valve setting. Alright, 4.3.2. To set up the 2.4 RL brake equipment for the trail, place handle with the cocks in the following position. Place the independent brake valve handle in the full application. Turn the rotary valve handle to pass lap. Make the full surface reduction with the automatic brake valve. Close the brake valve cutout cock, double heading cock. Automatically independent brake valve handles must be removed and running and released respectively. 6. Before leaving the cab, check the brake cylinder pressure. Hold steady. Alright, position in number 6 and 14 equipment at the 441. To set up the number 6 and 14 brake equipment, the lead multiple consists of the signal unit position and the handle of the cock of the following. Place the independent brake valve handle in the full application position. Place the double ported cutout cock in the in position if equipped with the multiple unit 2 valve within lead of the dead position. Brake cylinder pressure will increase the independent brake valve setting. Insert the automatic brake valve handle in the lap position. Place a 2 or 3 position. Cut out cock and lead or in position. Place the automatic brake valve handle in the running position. Equalizing the reserve of the brake pipe will charge the feed valve setting. Alright, 442 to set up the number 6 and 14 for the brake equipment for the trail handles with the cock must be set with the following sequence. To place the independent brake valve handle in the full application position. Make a full surface reduction with the automatic brake valve. Placing the handle with the lap position. If the unit is equipped with a 3-position cutout cock, place the cutout in the trail position. Remove the secure automatic brake valve handle in the lap position. In the unit equipped with a 2-position cutout cock, place the cock in the closed position. Remove the secure automatic brake valve handle in the lap position. If the unit is equipped with a multiple unit 2A unit valve, place the valve in the trail position. If equipped with a double ported cutout cock, place it in the out position. Independent brake valve handle must be removed in secured release position before leaving the cab. Check the brake cylinder pressure. Hold steady. Position the air brake equipment on the helper locomotive at the rear of the train. After the 451, after the coupling is made, before angle cocks are open and full surface brake pipe of reduction must be made with the helper locomotive. After the exhaust stops blowing, the air brake equipment must set up as follows to place the 26L with all place the automatic brake valve handle in the suppression position and brake valve cutout valve in the out position. On other types of equipment, place the brake valve cutout cock in the out position and then automatic brake valve handle into the running position. Hoses are to be coupled between rear car and helper locomotive. The angle cocks are open slowly. Independent brake valve must remain cut in, and handle placed released. Brakes on helper locomotive will be controlled by leading locomotive. 4-6. Position air brake equipment on helper on double heading locomotive in the front of the train. Air brakes shall be controlled from the leading of the unit direction of the movement. On the controlling unit of the locomotive next to the train, the air brake equipment must be set up as follows. 26L. Place automatic brake valve handling of the suppression position, brake valve cutoff and valve in the out position. Other types of equipment, place the brake valve cutout cock in the out position, automatic brake valve handle in the running position. Independent brake valve handle in the release and the double ported with the cutout cock open in the in position, multiple unit 2A valve in the lead or dead. 463. After the helper double header of the couple at the front of the train, a road test of the brakes must be made before proceeding. All right, coupling units multiple. When coupling a multiple unit air hose, gears must be exercised to ensure the capability of the hose is connected to independent application release hose and the actuating hoses are not crossed. 472. Condensation shall be blown from the hose before coupling. A visual inspection for the hose defect of the hose gasket shall be made prior to the coupling. When the couplings of the number 6 is not equipped with the actuating hose, the 26 for the 26L and the 24RL type, the brake cylinder equalizing hose must be connected to the A&R hose, main reserve hose connected to the main reserve hose, and the actuating hose of the 26L not connected and end of the cock closed. 475. After coupling the units multiple, a test must be made to determine that the brakes applied with the release properly. Revised June 5th, 1986. All right, air brake equipment, the 26L and the 26LA, 26NL. Monterey, all right, automatic. There's two different mode of operation handle and the cutout cock of the automatic brake valve, the independent brake valve handle, multiple unit, 2A, 3-position, double ported cock, 2-position for the independent brake. Lead or signal, automatic brake valve release and in and open. Also, the lead or signal independent brake valve with the release and lead or dead or in also in the in open. Trail automatic brake valve handling off and out cutout cock out closed. Trailing independent brake valve trailing. Release or removed multiple unit 2A 3-position trail double ported cock position out and close. Helper leading unit automatic brake valve handle suppression cutout cock out close. And helping leading unit handle release multiple UA valve 3-position leader dead double ported cock 2-position in on and it's open. All right, air brake equipment for the position of the 24RL. The lead or single automatic brake valve handle running and cutout cock and open. The lead or signal independent brake valve handle release and rotary valve rotary valve is passenger. Trailing mode of operation trailing automatic brake valve running handle removed and the cutout cock closed. Independent brake valve handle released and held removed in passenger lap for the rotatory valve. Helper leading unit for the position of the 24R brakes the handle in the running cutout cock closed handle released and the independent brake valve and rotary air valve passenger. Air equipment, brake equipment for the 6BLC and 6SL, 6BL, and 14EL. All right, your lead signal handle on the automatic brake valve is in the running open and for the 2-position open, 3-position lead. Independent brake valve for the lead or signal handle the release and 2-position multiple unit double ported cock in. Trailing position with the 2-position cutout cock release running handle handle automatic brake valve running handle secured. 2-position cutout cock closed. Trailing position cutout cock independent brake valve release and 2-position out. Trailing 3-position cutout cock handle in the for automatic brake valve lap hand remove the 3-position cutout cock in the trail. If the trailing 3-position cutout cock, the independent brake valve is released and also the 2-position multiple unit double ported cock is out. The helper leading unit automatic brake valve is running. The 2-position cutout cock closed. 3-position cutout cock closed or dead. Helper leading unit handle independent brake valve handle release, and the 2-position multiple 2-unit double ported cock in. Alright, the 26L shows the handle position release to the far left, and then minimum reduction surface zone, full surface suppression, handle off the emergency. 24RL brake, release running, first service, lab service emergency. Number 6 and 4L, release running, holding lap and service emergency. This shows the 3-position cutout cock. This shows the multiple 2A valve, rotary air valve. These are multiple unit air hose connections, lead and trail, different connections. All right, multiple unit combination independent brake valve, lead going to the left from the it shows the different variations from 26L to 24L to 26L, 26L, 24L, 26, 24L, 24L, 26L. Different combination independent brake valve. All right, 5 hauling dead locomotives.